Hello and welcome to this week's episode from scrapstamper.blogspot.com's Copic tutorial. We are going to start by coloring this lovely magenta image. It really has a gorgeous detail, and I'm very excited to show you some blending techniques. If you're familiar with my tutorials, you know that I like to start off with a chart of colors that I'm going to use. This sort of takes a lot of the guesswork out because I can see just how the colors like to blend together and whether or not it works. And sometimes I'll get two colors that I thought would be just so wonderful and it doesn't look as good. So I'm going to have this off to the side as sort of a little template. So let's zoom on into our image. And okay, and I think we're ready to begin. I'm going to start with the lightest color, and we're going to start by doing our little flowers first. In a circular motion, I'm just going to color on some flat color. I'm using a light stroke. I'm not doing this at full saturation. And again, for those of you who have not watched any of my videos or are not familiar with Copics, they can reach a saturation point where the full amount of color that you can get out of the marker, the deepest, brightest color, is what's on the paper. And you can know that by when you turn it over and it's full, it has a full image. As you can see, this does have some color, but it's not indicative of my entire image. And I'm just going a little bit quickly because really it's just a blank sheet of color and it's not that important. And next I'm going to use my Y13, and for this I'm just going to bring a little color into these dark areas and sort of bring it out to sort of show where the sun is hitting and just to give it a lot of depth. As you can see, Y11 and Y13 are very close to each other in number as well as in color, so I didn't really need to be that careful, whereas this, which is Y15, really has deeper color. So I'm just keeping it where it's darker. Perfect. If you're just tuning in today, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a rubber stamper. I am not a Magna artist, which are the people who, another group of creative individuals who enjoy these kinds of markers. So I am not a professional. I just really enjoy these, and I know that they do have a learning curve, and I kind of wanted to be able to help those people who are wanting to learn techniques and whatnot, really get the most out of their markers. And my videos range from really easy introductions to the numbering of the markers all the way to more advanced blending techniques, and this is pretty much an intermediate, just a blending one. I just put on a flat coat of G21. That is just my first blanket coat. And as you can see, when I do the first coats, I tend to go a little quickly. I don't want a really deep color. These markers do work in sort of a wet way when you first put it down. It has a different consistency. It's more blendable than when it's dry, which is good and bad for different things. I've only put my second coat on for this, but I'm actually going to go back to my flowers. As I was saying, they sort of dry and then they're not quite as blendable, which is good because I want to put on a second coat of my Y11 for a little added depth, and it's not going to blend as well. It's going to look darker than the initial coat of the same color, which is a really great thing that these markers do, because this way you don't need every single color on the planet, which you may think at some points, and I know that I am guilty of wanting. This is G28. This is a much deeper color. I'm using it for the trunk, I guess the stem, and I'm just using a tiny bit sort of as a little flower. I'm just going to use the darker one up here. Okay, and now I'm going to take E31, which is a very beige-like color for the blossoms. Not the blossoms, the middle of the flower. And then I'm going to take E33, which is sand, for the highlight of it. Again, I'm not a professional, none of my terms are professional, but I really love these markers, and I really hope that that shines through to you. Now I'm doing my second coat of G21, which, if you remember, was the lightest color that we did with these leaves, but it looks so much deeper on the second coat. Okay, we're almost done, believe it or not. Now I'm going to use BG10, which is one of my favorite sky colors. I actually need very badly to refill it, which is one of the great things about Copic markers, which is that they are completely refillable, but the color is not as true as it could be. As you can see, I'm actually going to have a little trouble getting it full color, but that's my fault for not refilling it. It has nothing to do with the marker. And again, I'm just pressing a lot harder than you'll normally see me on these videos, because there's not a lot of ink in this, but it still managed to come out with a pretty blank color, which is great. Okay, now something interesting that I'm doing with this. You'll notice on my chart that for the most part I use consistent family groups. Y's with the Y's, G's with the G's, RV's. But if you notice that with BG, I use BG10 and then BO1, which isn't a blue-green, it's actually a brighter blue. You don't always have to stick with the colors. It makes it a little more of a contrast, which I really liked for this image, because this image is all about the window shine and the contrast. So I just put a little in the corners. I'm going to put a little peeking up under these flowers, just give it a little oomph. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the finishing touches, which is going to be to do the outlines. Now the outlines shows this fuchsia color, which, if you can see, is a really gorgeous color. One of the things that I love about Copic is that the colors are just so bright, really unmatched by any. And if you can see, the color is coming out almost a little too bright. It seems to be overpowering the actual image, but we will take care of that. Not to worry. You can shade these colors with grays as well as with their own colors. If you have never seen Mary Ann's, I think that's how you pronounce her name, blog, she works for Copic, and she is brilliant, and she has some really great tutorials out there as well. You can just private message me and I'll let you know about that. Now I'm trying to darken this a little bit, because as you can see, it's kind of brighter tonally than the other one. So I'm just doing this in the corners. This is RV19. And then, of course, R39, which is our last and darkest color. And here we go. We have a very nice, in my not so humble opinion, I guess, no, I'm kidding, in my humble opinion, of a really, really cool piece of art that you can send to a friend. You can put it on your wall. You can do all sorts of really wonderful things. And I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. And please make sure to bookmark my site. Thanks so much. Bye.